Welcome to AutoCAD 3D modeling. In today's lecture, you will learn how to use press and pull command in a 3D workbench. So, in order to learn that command, you have this kind of a model. So, let's begin with the model. First, we will make a 2D rectangle for this, and then we will apply extrude command, and then we will finally use press and pull command. So, let's begin with that. So here you can see you have your 3D workbench. If you don't know how to open up 3D modeling workbench, you can see it over here. If you just drop down, you have modeling workbench options. So this is 3D modeling workbench. So just go for it. And after choosing this, you by default you will have a 2D workspace. You can see right here at the left bottom corner of your screen that you have only two axes, X and Y, and there is no third axis. So it's up to you whether you want to create your 2D structure first on this workspace and then convert it into 3D, or you wholly start with a 3D workbench and then you continue. So I am choosing to work on 3D visualization. So for that, you need to go on your view panel. Here is your view panel. And in view panel, if you just drop down this restore view, so from the here you can restore your personal type of view which you want to use. So just drop down and you can see you have six options here: top, bottom, left, right, front, back. And other than these all six options are for 2D workbench. So you can frame 2D structure first from using these views, orthographic views basically. Other than these, you have four kinds of isometric views: southwest isometric, southeast, northeast, and northwest. So I'm going to personally use SE isometric view. Just click on this, and you see here, you have the two axes, X and Y, on your screen that are on the planar view, and on the vertical axis, you have Z axis. So back to the model. Okay, so you can see here the rectangle you can make is of length 104 and thickness width 72. So now you have two options. You use four lines to make a rectangle one by one. Other than these, the best option is to go for the rectangle option. So in the draw panel, you have here rectangle option to create a rectangular polyline. So just go for it. And it will ask you to first specify the corner point. It's up to you whether you take the origin as your first point or you just choose it randomly. So right now I am showing you to choose the WCS origin. So there you go. And okay, here it is representing the x-axis on this direction, but it's up to you whatever you want to use. So on this axis, I would prefer 72 here so that you will have your required presentation like this. Okay, so just zoom out to bring the structure in your range. There you go. Next step is to extrude this rectangular box by 48 upward in positive z-axis. So here you have extrude command, and once you select, It will ask you to select objects to extrude. So select object to extrude. Your rectangle is the that object you want to extrude. After selecting, once the lines appear blue, it means it has selected. Just press enter afterwards, and then you see you have options to go upward, and when you scroll downward, you have option to draw or to complete your 3D box in negative z-axis, downward direction, but we want to extrude it upward. So just go upward like this, and how much you wanted to extrude it by 48. So we need to extrude it by 48 like this. Perfect. Now, next step is to, you see, after using the rotation view, you can visualize your uh, object clearly here. Just rotate it a little bit like this. This is your wireframe model actually. So after doing this, what you need to do, you need to, okay, it suddenly disappeared. Okay, sometimes it happens with the AutoCAD that it doesn't respond or stop responding. Yes. Okay, I did nothing. I just randomly selected few options so that it will appear back. Next step is to go for in the view panel again, you have options to choose your type of visualization. So next, in the next step, I am going to convert this rectangular box in the gray, shades of gray like this. So after doing this, my object has been converted into a solid object, right? Next step is to choose, you have to create these effects in order to apply the press and pull command, right? So if you notice, this is a kind of a ladder model. So in the first step, you need this first step is pressed by 16 downward in z-axis, and the thickness is 24, of course. Same goes over here, but it is pressed by further 16. So it's 24, but in length it is 104 minus 24. So 104 minus 24 would be 80. So 80 in one axis and then 24 in another axis. So again rectangle command, and it will ask you a 3D vertex. So uh, the measurements are 80 and 24. You can also do this thing in your wireframe model. It's up to you, whatever suits you. So first corner is this 3D vertex, and the length is 80. Press tab button, and okay, let's do it again. 3D vertex, whatever it is asking me for. First of all, it is 24. Okay, by default, it is selected. So it is 24 tab 80. Perfect. Next is again 24 and 80. So this endpoint and 24 tab 80, like this. Done. Again, you can rotate your object and see the pattern, the rectangular pattern which you have developed is on the top surface only, right? In the wireframe model, you can also visualize this thing. And once you rotate, you can see it is on this side only, where you need to apply the press and pull command only at that surface. So uh, again, shades of gray. And next step is to first bring it in as the isometric view clearly and zoom out a little bit. Okay, zoom in a little. Okay. Next step is to apply the press and pull command. On first rectangle, it is 16, and on the other one, it is 16 plus 16, right? So 16 on first one. In modeling view, in modeling panel, actually, you have this press and pull command. So I'm going to use this one. It asks you to select object or bounded rounded area. So once you drag your cursor on the object, it will select it. And once you place your cursor in the bounded area, that will also be fine. Once you take your cursor downward, you see it stretch your object downward. Once you take your cursor upward, it will pull your object upward. It will press your object downward, and this kind of effect, right? So how much downward we need to go? We need to go 16, press enter, and like this. And you can see after rotating your object, yeah, this is your orbit command, and you see like this. Again, repeat the same, press and pull command on this bounded area, just press enter, and then how much you need to press? You need to press 16 plus 16, that is 32 this time, and then enter. And again rotate. And after rotation, you see, according to that wireframe, it has been engraved very much clearly. Once you bring it into wireframe model, you see, this is your wireframe model, and like this. But for solid modeling, you can use any of these visualization effects for a clear view. And there you go. Last but not the least, you need to trim off these extra lines, which you have taken it as your reference lines. So just go back into wireframe model, and rotate it like this, and just trim off the extra lines, which we don't need them anymore. And that's it. Again, back to SE isometric view. And we are done here. So this was up for the model. Now, last step is to mention the dimensions. And for that, you need to go into your annotate panel. In annotate panel, you have all the options to mention for your dimensions. So just zoom out like this. And there you have commands and options like we did in 2D modeling previously. So just go for linear dimension and the endpoint and another endpoint and like this. But you see, there is no dimension apparently. So you need to adjust the size of the dimensions or dimension style. So dimension style manager, in this, go for modify options. In modify option, first one is for the lines, symbols, and arrows, and then text. So increase the text size by 3 at least. And you can also change the text color, of course. Symbols and arrows, again, increase the arrow size by 3. And for the line, you can also change the line color and extension line color by any color. Okay, and close. So you see, now it is here. Next is all the dimensions which you can easily mention. Just go for them. Again, linear, endpoint, endpoint, and this is 72. Again, linear, endpoint, endpoint. Okay. Sometimes it happens that measurement appear in your 2D wireframe actually. So in that case, you see 24 is here, but once you convert it into shades of gray, it will disappear. So for that, you can also do this thing, like choose your option and point of 3D vertex, and it is here, 24 for this one. and 24 for this one as well. Just here. And this is also 24, right? 3D vertex. This is 80. You see here. And so this is here for your current model. I hope it is clear to you how to use the press and pull command effectively. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.